Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 Tides of Torment, where today, for whatever reason, I was able to get us through to turn 85 just by opening the game fresh and hitting end turn again. So this time it worked. Who knows why? Things did unfold in the enemy turns a little bit differently. As you can see here, the Skavens saw through Vinomar's ambush, and they did bring 3 armies out to attack him. And so I just hit the back off button, and they didn't have enough movement to pursue, which I knew was the case. That's why it was safe enough to leave him where he was in ambush mode. Most of the armies moved back to the Altar of the Horned Rat afterward, but Festet of Mordheim used a one-way movement stance to get to us, and so he's been left out in the open, and we probably ought to devour him. The Wintertooth came to me and asked for a trade agreement, and I said sure. Kind of weird. Alright, what new test is this? The very ground has opened up beneath your army and swallowed up several of the men who were idling there. They must have angered the gods with their weakness of spirit. The warriors that remain are inspired into action. You would think that would be a downside, but no. +5 leadership for all of the characters in Thoman Gorax's army, because the ground opened up and ate a bunch of guys. That's pretty cool.
Why use the winds when a knight...
So this army here, Festet of Mordheim, this is a pretty all-right army. It's pretty full of, honestly, like all-right to good units, and it's nice that they're all out of position by themselves. I think we should be able to jump them without them being able to pull the same backing off routine, although, actually, now that I look at this, if they back off, they'll surely back off enough that they'll be able to get into reinforcement range of some of these armies. And if we try to attack them from a different angle to prevent that, I think if we attack from the north, they'll retreat and get around this rock face to some degree. And I think we might see them escape far enough that we're not able to chase them due to the sort of as the crow flies way that escape movement works.
No, Gracie, never wrong.
There is an army over here that is in
Great shame.
it is in full march mode that unfortunately we can't actually reach.
Great shame.
Yeah, that's a shame. I get so used to the incredible movement speed that a couple of our armies have, I forget the rest of us are like human.
They fear me because they know.
Well, let's see if we can jump this guy.
Servant of the dark.
So if we just bring
gods.
a reinforcement army. I'm going to try to initiate more from the north and see what happens. No, I'm just going to go straight at him. He's able to back off enough that...
War is the journey.
Actually, he probably doesn't get that many of them helping him. The question is, would I survive a counterattack if we were to chase him here? So let's see. They have...
No.
Fesket's army, which is interesting. So Fesket has a fair number of Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin, as you can see from their stats there, heavily armored, not actually that good at melee attack and defense, although the ones with the halberds have a hefty bunch of anti-large. And then he's got like a handful of Doom Wheels and Doom Flayers, which are fast-moving, like wheel... They are in many ways effectively chariots, but you know, because they're rat men, they're rats running on wheels, and it's sort of a different thing. And they do have guns on them. And then he's got some siege weapons and stuff, but he's also got a few units at the front of this army that are just like really crummy. This is a low tier unit that exists pretty much just to punch through walls. He's got an assassin. He himself is a master assassin, and they're both in their 20s.
Insults to Horned Rat. That.
Postitch's army is a little bit worse even. See, this army has very little like stand and fight infantry. It'd be very easy to sort of to wrap around them and threaten their rattling guns and stuff. You have to be very careful about the Doom Wheels. Doom Wheels are dangerous. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to undersell them. But if those are the two forces that remain... Is Harald tired? He is. Harald successfully assassinated somebody, and so he's probably too tired to do anything except provide intel. Yeah, you know what? Let's pursue Festit. We can do this. So we're gonna pursue Festit. He can't run away again this turn. Oh, I thought for sure there were at least one of them was gonna show up as reinforcements. Okay, so we'll chomp him. Take the healing. I took way more damage on the auto resolve than I expected there. I mean, his army was the most dangerous one in the area for sure, but still, that feels like a lot. Let's grab Fate of Buna and Magic and Arcane Conduit for Vidomar. Obviously, big deal. Yeah, wow, that did a crazy amount of damage to both of these armies. That's a terrible auto resolve result. Holy hell. Okay. Probably take the vigor loss reduction for the whole army. That seems fine. Now I am wondering if we are going to survive a counterattack with all these. Their armies are still like very weird. Yeah, you know what? I think we're maybe gonna be okay. Maybe. At this point, we're quite committed, right? Like Vidomar, Talos is literally out of movement entirely. Vidomar has got some. Vidomar has enough movement that he could drop into ambush stance, and he's in the trees. Fuck it. We'll see if we can pull off a ridiculous ambush. That one might turn out a little messy. And you do not have enough movement to get to Demon's Gate this turn. Very annoying stuff. Oh, hey, look, a landmark. The floating Chaos Island. Found within the Chaos Realm's pall, time has no meaning here. Demons and mortals battle for a victory that will never come. There's like a little... Oh, yeah, and there's some kind of horrible flesh mass in the gate there, and yep, that's... Well, ain't that something? Alright, well, all we can do is push forward. Perhaps in a movement mode that doesn't leave us taking attrition damage.
Pillage from here.
It's me, I'm raiding. Oh, hi.
Advancing.
You play the great game well.
Thanks, Kairos Fate Weaver. Huh. I don't know what your deal is. You are a faction that does not use settlements. You're hanging out outside of Demon's Gate, but you're not actually at war with the Gates of Pahuak, or the Ghosts of Pahuax. So you're not trying to take it. You're just kind of chilling. I don't want to say, hey, we can definitely safely disregard a Tzeentchian demon faction, because like, well, those of you who are familiar with the role of Tzeentch in the universe know why that would be a silly thing to say. But he is strength rank 42 with no settlements. It does not behoove me to fight him. We would not really get anything out of that.
The gods must be appeased.
I think there's a decent chance this is his only army based on the size of the green and red balance of power bar. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Alright, so I was headed to the Star Tower. I think that's probably still the right move, especially as regards putting this army in a place where it can potentially contribute to all this noise. And just sailing right to here makes the most sense. Okay, and if I were to kick into full speed, it doesn't show any extra movement for us. Oh no, wait. Okay, it's You can see like an outline around some of the settlements. I'm not sure what is going on with this. It is not showing me the edge of my movement, but I wouldn't want to, I think, go anywhere else here anyway. We're already close enough that I think we'll be able to hit the Altar of the Horned Rat with a single normal move. And they may not be able to see me where I'm at right now, which seems decent.
We are the finest sailors.
Okay, may as well build up this stuff. Svengar,
Servant of the dark
my man,
gods.
what were you doing? It's been a day or two. I don't remember what my plan was. My plan was, I think, to sail west, become ready to fight Nagaroth, or to at least defend against Nagaroth. Maybe. How big are you right now?
Dare interrupt my eternal vengeance.
Strength rank 2, holding 29 settlements. And with that, that level of unfriendliness, obviously the likelihood of conflict is extremely high. Boy, at some point we became really positive with Wintertooth. Gifts given to Wintertooth. Wow, that appeasement gold they asked us for. I mean, I guess it was a very large amount of gold, but it was enough to actually completely turn the relationship around to fully positive, which is interesting. Part of me wants to just sail like down the coast. I'm not too far away from,
Be rewarded.
if I need to show up to battle or whatever. Let me sail down the coast for a bit. Let me just have a look around.
I know things.
Okay, Valgar could see that Wintertooth land does not extend over this way. This is probably all Wintertooth land along the north coast. But I don't think it's all that interesting to run that way. Oh, Talabheim belongs to them. It's a really huge empire. And you, like I said, can't really do anything except provide intelligence for the moment.
Their souls.
Lots of shitty little agents running around and damaging my buildings just to be a nuisance. This is probably a Skaven ruin, right? I should have checked. Well, too late now. We got things to do. We got places to be. A great many things happen all over the world. Fortunately, only a very small percentage of them currently involve people trying to murder me personally. Just run around assaulting my garrisons. At least that's less annoying than the building damage. Just trying to generate XP. I can only hold so much of a grudge. What are they going to do? They did see through the ambush. If we take an auto-resolve here, we can catch a Pyrrhic victory on their full stack. We will lose, actually, not that large a percentage of our second army. Not that large a percentage of the first army either. And, of course, the rats will be... pretty badly beaten. Attackers tend to lose a lot in situations like this. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the auto-resolve. Not even necessarily because I think it's an outperformance mechanically of what we would do, but because I think this battle would be really tedious to fight. This is just me saving you and me some human time. Because this is a lot of like high movement troops that are going to break and run away and then rally and come back and break and run away and rally and come back, and we're just going to defend against push after push after push and kill thousands of them on each push. And let's go ahead and take whatever healing there is to be had. But that should break their force up pretty bad. That was a huge number of troops that died there. And remember, we'll get a burst of replenishment at the beginning of our turn. They still have a full army running to reinforce here, and we know there's at least one more full army to the southwest that we, the one that was in march mode that we couldn't pursue. Because rats, because they are numerous. But they can be numerous without being that much of a danger to us, as you just saw. Unfortunately, this turn here should be the end of Wulfric's concern in the area. True, my ambush was foiled, and then we killed so many enemies. The Bretonnian factions are glomming together for survival.
Stay ready to take sail.
The Altar of the Horned Rat has a 15-unit garrison. Oh boy, a burst of replenishment does not mean quite the same thing to these armies that it does to like to our forces that are more built up.
Fear me.
That have stacked a larger number of replenishment bonuses. So I'm going to pick up some more magic stuff on this guy. He's got his Norse resilience. That's the most important thing from that line. Oh, right. But yeah, Practice Murderer and the things therefrom, obviously. An extra casualty replenishment. Pretty big deal. Accomplished Ritualist. Pretty okay.
A true God send.
So this army that's coming to get us.
Bad idea.
Okay, it's not really all that impressive of a force. Again, like several units of warp grinders for no reason at all. They have some more ranged units here, some more slinger type units, which are annoying. The damage can add up if they're able to attack you over a long period of time. I think what I'm actually going to do is have Harold here run over and try to just damage them as much as possible. Assault units failure. Buddy, you gotta start coming through. When I need you, when we have these moments, you've got to show up.
I have seen things that weak minds could
So
not
Thoman Gorax could sail over here and attack the Altar of the Horned Rat from the ocean. One thing I'm a little worried about is with a 15-unit garrison and defensive, the defensive advantages that come with a real garrison building, that we might not get the best auto-resolve result, or we might not get the best result for, battling the city, and that we might end up with a force that's weak enough that Toxer's full army does pose a little bit of danger. I know we were going to fuck up the Star Tower, and I still do think that's important. But let's bring Thoman over here. Let's reunite my forces a little bit until these two have had time to heal. So I'm going to move these armies into reinforcement position on the city attack.
dark gods.
And we're going to hit them with
There will be
the maximum force. This gives 20 armor and 8 melee defense. One of you guys. Alright, a decisive victory.
slaughter.
Just reunite the bodies form a great big pile of Norskins. And then take a second and fix our numbers.
Harbinger of war.
We are fueled by war, and soon we are a spawn of chaos.
Strength.
That's going pretty well. This is going, you know, however it's going. Do you have all of your yellow line skills? Not quite. We're getting there, but not quite. Okay, and so since we all participated in that battle together, we're in friendly territory. I'm going to move them in a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, now that we're in proper friendly territory, we're getting much better replenishment. If I put you into camp mode, even better, even better.
My journey continues.
And then same deal here, I would assume. Great news.
On the move.
Just trying to make sure everybody's hugged up, so if anybody gets attacked, everybody gets to play. And let's talk about recruitment. So I have 1 unit of horsemasters just sitting here in the the immediate poll pool from earlier. We'll take those. We don't have any local military buildings, so all we can do right now is recruit from the regiments of renown, which are not the regiments of renown that we have unassigned are not very good units. Or obviously we can do this the slow way.
Fight our enemy. Follow me to glory.
Yeah, where's the last place that I put like proper recruitment structures? I guess the answer is nowhere.
Conduit for the beyond.
All right, let's give Vietnamar some more stuff then. Let's recruit for you. So I'm gonna pull in 1 more unit of these guys, and we're just gonna rebuild the sort of the core, the middle of this army. I don't want to be sitting around for too long, so let's only grab things that cost 2 turns to recruit. Marauder Champion's not on that list, actually. I am surprised to discover. Okay. These guys will hang out and probably like guard the altar of the Horned Rat.
Of the dark gods.
And we could fill this area up. I probably want to take the bonus replenishment rate, though, right? Marks of the Old One is the other recruitment spot here, or the other city in this province, other settlement. We can handle that. So here's the question now. Xylas is the last army for these guys. Can I handle him alone? Do I need to engage in some kind of trickery to get him to come out? He is a slammed mage priest. So this is a, a powerful wizard lord for sure.
Yes.
Can you get out of the way? Because you're not actually sieging the city, you're just being annoying and making it hard for me to click on the city. Actually, no, I cannot. Oh, I can't attack because I'm in a stance. Right. Okay.
I'll challenge them.
I was like, look at how many units are in his army. Maybe he's really put something together. But right, we've completely destroyed his infrastructure. He only has the buildings that are in this one settlement at this point, which means that he can't recruit anything real. He just has a bunch of skink cohorts with 100 points of shielding on top of their health. The garrison has real units, but this is a trivial audit result victory. And raise the banner to the big dog. We have secured a province. We have secured the destruction of a faction. Wulfric can finally go sailing and do other stuff once again. We might kill Rel Vorgus before it happens, because I don't know what that dude is up to. He's making me kind of nervous. And also, we're going to take Wound. We're going to take points in wound, despite the fact that I can't imagine ever ordering this guy to wound somebody. Because what else am I going to do?
Let's fight.
Also, while we're here, I guess screw up enemy armies in the area. If somebody wants to come down here and attack me, they can find themselves temporarily slowed down in the process. Svengar can hit this C point of interest. We probably don't need whatever is here. We may have to defeat a foe in battle, but a great hoard of treasure could be retrieved. Hey, look at that. It's a small portion of a vampire pirate army. Remember when this was a thing we had to consider? Me too.
This is the cost of failure.
Alright, what did we find? Growth up in all provinces for 6 turns. A lot of growth up. And income from all buildings up for a while. Cool shit. Also, just a very large amount of money. No surprises there. We are learning some spells, and y'all know I do love a great big flaming skull.
My pacts have borne.
It does the good work.
I will
And
keep the storms at bay.
gonna sail down the coast a little bit looking for friends. Looking for the presence of our friend. Azazel, this is that magic hat, right? Is that what you have a big floating thing up? No, wait, is this a hat? No, it's... What is this shape that is floating above you, my man?
Very well.
Okay, I don't know what the deal is with Azazel. We have found some rampaging Wintertooth armies that are actually engaged in combat here. But not our man, not just yet. Garmer was headed for these armies, right? He was supposed to be coming down here to help. I believe. We sure could use the assist. Alright, income from trade good producing buildings up in all regions, tradable resources provided up everywhere. Good stuff. Love to hit maximum rank in a settlement. And then what else can we build here that would be fun to have? When this building's maxed out, it gives us... I mean, additional global recruitment capacity is a good thing. I think we probably want one of those in every one of our fully maxed out cities. And then, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure what else. What do we have local recruitment of? Horses and mammoths. I mean, maybe it makes sense to build just like redundant proving pits for the ability to like use real local recruitment in this area to build armies faster should Nagaroth attack us. Yeah, Nagaroth. There's so many elf factions, the Dark Elves and the High Elves. There's a lot of similar sounding shit going on, so I have to check every once in a while. Okay, where's our monster hunt is in this area, isn't it? It's actually quite a bit further north than I thought it was, but we're approximately on the right longitude, at least. Okay. What else is going on down here? We have another force of High Elves who are probably going to be a problem eventually, but I really do want to do some monster hunting, so we'll come back to them later if they're a problem. We have plans. We have places to be. It might even be worth a quick teleport. I can probably teleport to pretty close to that monster hunting site.
I'll take your head. Be it here or on...
Haggrafe. They demand I pay them 1,000 gold for a non-aggression pact. No? What? I guess you guys are pretty big. Fucking fine, whatever. We're finally showing as more powerful than Clan Pestilence, but it's really not by very much, is it? I'm glad I brought the third army back over here. I think it was necessary. As much as it would be nice to push the elves off of that island, we gotta stabilize here. In fact, I may need to bring Wulfric back over. As much as I would love to be very focused on doing everything else. So we see Lord Skrolk again. Yes, he has reasserted himself on the world. He's coming up from the southwest. We're going to find ourselves hard-pressed to execute a standing defense on anything that they decide they really want to take, because they're able to... they're showing up as a little bit less powerful than our faction overall, but all of their armies are in the same place, and they're able to, to push as a single force. And I think we're going to find that we have a difficulty holding against the kind of pressure, the kind of localized pressure that they're able to produce. So we're going to have to be tricksy. Catch them off guard with ambushes, tug individual armies out of position. Mostly the kinds of things we've been doing. I think things in this war are going really well for us.
Have a mind to start swinging.
The College of Pyrotechnics has declared war on me. That's just really annoying. They're just like outside one of my settlements, and I don't have time for this. Fine. The accursed troop has honored our defensive pact and declared war on them in response, although none of their armies are nearby, and I doubt they're going to do anything. Alright, Schemes of Doom. Special Warlock Engineers are being summoned. These things can run at a settlement and blow themselves up to do considerable damage to it, which is fuddy, more than effective. Okay, Shadow Rifts are only for Bellacor's faction. Interesting. Where's my nearest port? This is a port over here? Because Wulfric, although the sea thing only works next to a port anyway, right? I don't think we can leave from Demon's Gate. Fateweaver's Crevasse is over a turn of movement away and also wouldn't let me do it, so... I think no matter what we're doing, we're moving back to Grotrolex's Glare.
You'll earn your pay. On the move.
Get out into the sea here. And indeed, I can see Fang. I would prefer to do it this turn, obviously, rather than waiting just to get the cooldown rolling. So that's that. So we can probably teleport quite close, yeah. If I... hit this. Yeah, we could go to Bilbali. We could go to Poxmarsh, or like Fuming Serpent. It's actually not that far away, and we could provide a little bit of localized counterstrike here. Wulfric showing up does change the dimensions of the battle pretty seriously. Maybe we could deliver him to like Brigon. Run over, annihilate the College of Pyrotechnics, and then have him sweep down. And but I really want to get this done with, so that I could get the monster hunting book on cooldown, and then we can do other stuff while it's on cooldown. You know, Bilbali puts us close. I'm gonna do it. 7 turns. I thought we picked up a thing that lowered the cooldown. Well, Bilbali definitely belongs to a Skaven player. What is the name of this force? This is Skaven. This is Scryer down here.
Icket Claw!
Yeah. We are friendly. Inclined to be friendly. Well, that's good news, at least.
I am the Wanderer.
All right. We'll sail over there. It shouldn't take too long.
Wisdom.
So, every turn, we're accumulating a small amount of allegiance with the Accursed Troop. And it costs allegiance to hire units on from your ally. The units that you can hire are based on what recruitment buildings exist in the city where you built your outpost. We built our outpost in a place where they have access to pretty high-tech stuff, but as you can see, the high-tech stuff requires a lot of allegiance. It's building up real slow. If we upgrade our outpost, we can do better, but we need to be in a military alliance, unfortunately. Yeah. Out of curiosity, we can also do ally missions to pick up additional stuff. And here, actually, that's very much on the ticket. I didn't realize how easy it would be to do some of that stuff, but I don't think we're in a position to do any of it this turn, and so I'm not going to worry about it right now. I do want to...
No, need my warp token stash.
Do you want to prevent Obsife from having free run of the place? Assaulting Skrulk's units is going to be a little bit harder because he's a higher level hero. We have a worse chance of getting the job done. We just failed a task that looked much easier than this, but he really is the army that we want to slow down the most. Critical failure. Okay, the odds of that were not very high. So Harl has managed to wound himself, and now we all look like assholes.
Stand against Northscar.
It's worth noting that we do have the money to put together another army, probably, and it's a thing I should be thinking about. Where is the nearest place that we have local recruitment structures? Like the nearest place that we have a proper settlements. Is it over in Port Reaver? This settlement here, this province here, rather. We kind of don't even have local recruitment structures here. Like, we do need just like basic champion construction and stuff. The only place where we really have the ability to build up new armies is in Lothern. Speaking of which, for some reason, these buildings are not being upgraded, but they fucking should be. Yeah, because Lothern has access to some stuff. All right, well, I guess we'll start building a new force in Lothern, because I think we're going to need them. Let us call upon a new shaman sorcerer. I do love a good shaman sorcerer. Who's got something cool? Uncompromising metal sorcerer. The unyielding assault attribute. I mean, I don't really care about your melee attack, my dude. Cunning is pretty good. Poison attacks, melee defense up. We know their stats get good enough that you can use them to fight a little bit. But having a guy just run over, dash into the backside of an enemy unit to give them poison for a minute, the ambush success chance bonus and stuff. Yeah, another metal sorcerer seems perfectly reasonable. Starting with those couple of points of blue stuff that we like.
Dark reward.
And then
Harbinger of war.
a Slaneshi outpost. Okay, they built their outpost there. That makes sense.
Wind wielder.
Oh, look at this. Look at the local recruitment capacity and the recruitment speed. Holy crow. Okay. So we do now have access to some Chaos Warriors of Khorne from the recruitment pool. Obviously, the global pool is well and spoken for. Can we make like kind of a Famir army? This is a thing we don't really have access to yet, and we have a lot of Famir troops here, as well as Famir hero production, right? Yeah, we could make ourselves another noble. Enemy leadership down in the region. Speed up with Wayfarer. Character experience gains supercharged. I'm not so worried about that. I kind of like enemy leadership down for all troops in the region. It's a small amount, but it'll add up with the other stuff. Right, fold yourself into that army at the first available opportunity. 5730. So they do need. It does feel like they need a little bit of a melee defense boost to be able to stand in combat. They have pretty decent bonus versus large. Okay.
Conduit for the beyond.
And does the noble have a buff for other Famir in the same army? They often theme like that, right? The unyielding assault attribute for Famir warriors in the same army. That's pretty cool. Stalk for warriors and Bale Fiends. Even more ambush success chance. Okay. That's cool. So yeah.
Born of winter.
Carl and the Famir.
Now,
What am I doing? This is not the button I want. I want the recruit
only
button.
the strongest.
Let's pull a bunch of Famir. So let's compare the kinds of Famir that we have available here. We have warriors with great weapons. So the great weapon version is just a little 11 points less melee defense is pretty significant. Normal Famir warriors have 15 bonus versus infantry, whereas these guys are obviously going to have a bonus versus large. So we probably want some mixture of the two, just to give us some ability against both things. And then we also have access here to chimeras and frost dragons and giants and stuff. Things that I don't have a lot of familiarity with. So like stat-wise, a chimera versus a frost dragon. The frost dragon has more weapon strength, more charge bonus. His melee attack's a little bit worse, his armor's a little bit worse. You're multi-headed. So you're unflankable. That's kind of cool, I guess. Rowdy. They seem quite similar, substantially similar. They have poison, which is real fun. You know what? Give me a pair of chimeras, and then we'll go like 3 and 3 on the Famirs. Do we want to? Do we want to recruit ranged units? Is a question. The Famir should serve pretty well as like stand and punch melee, and in fact they tear through enemy armor. They're not just armor piercing, but they permanently break armor, which is really nice. They sunder. We probably don't need a lot of. We probably don't have to worry about range. I might bring in Etten Runecaller just for a little bit of extra like magic juice. So let's say like one of those and then a bunch more. And then the next person we would hire would put us into a third turn of recruitment. So with the Famir hero, that gets us to 18. And then I don't really know what else we would want. Let's get this amount of recruitment done and we'll see. Do we have a... No, we do not have a Skinwolf building super nearby, but we could spawn a Skinwolf hero up here to come and join them, right? A Werekin? No, okay, we're capped out on Werekin, actually. We need to build another Werekin building. So I guess that's the thing to remember, is that we could use another Werekin building somewhere. All right, at this point, is it worth running out to knock down the Star Tower? I'm not sure. We need to have somebody fall back to get rid of this army before they, cause any real damage. And also to deal with, like, Obsife and stuff. I do think we're unlikely to see... Like, Ketza's going to fall, and I don't think we can get to it, right? You're mustering. Of course not. You. Yeah, we're not able to get over there. We'd have to go full march mode just to get to Axolotl.
Heed my wisdom.
I am going to have Thoman duck out
I will.
and smash the Star Tower real quick. I want this gone. We can't stop the elves from forming up more navy to come at us, but we can stop them from doing it 10 feet outside of our yard.
I am in agreement.
And leave one more big statue of the dog on the coast here. All right, another 5% movement range.
God save.
There is a maximum, bonus to all these things, but at this point, who cares? At this point, we don't have anything better to do with the skill points. Is it trivial to see what is our total movement range bonus? Hold on a second. Let me finish assigning these points. Probably more charge bonus, right? We're using Thoman Gorax as a charging unit. If I select the army as a whole and do this, 167. That doesn't actually tell me what my total movement bonus is, because I don't know what our base value would be. So it looks like it has all the effects broken down. Yeah, unfortunately, it has each effect that's affecting us, but okay, no, it has combined them into categories. So we are only at 25% total movement range bonus, with another 10% here and another 10% while we're at sea. So we still can gain more movement range. We have not hit the 50%, the plus 50% cap yet. I feel like maybe the thing to do here
is the journey and the destination.
Is to head back to Axolotl, where I can be more responsive toward Quetzal, or I can run back over here if we're in trouble, or
feast and brawl.
Somebody's got to, present some kind of threat in this direction. Valgar continues to scout. Are there more armies ahead? There are. There he is.
The scorned beast.
Unfortunately, that's not super accessible to my forces. But we found him at least. Turns out in Conquata, may as well start building the extra magic building. We do cast a lot of spells. I do so love a spell. The Star Tower by itself just sitting here, I mean, the garrison... Yeah, if you build this garrison thing, it's only 4 units. I don't know. It's not surviving if it gets attacked, no matter what, I don't think.
Dark gods.
Had a tiny bit of ore. I didn't intend to end the turn at all. When I clicked that button, it still had upgrade a building on it, but because the art takes a second to upgrade, it had become the end turn button.
Wolves.
What's up, Sea Patrol? You know what? At this moment, I will accept peace from you. You stay on your side of the ocean, we'll stay on ours. I think that's just fine. It's kind of the perfect moment, really. Notice the number of factions overall in the world getting pretty thin. He established a warlock laboratory in Quetzal, which is interesting because... Okay, I was going to say that there's not really a benefit to doing that if they're going to just take it. Because the warlock laboratory is a sneaky understructure that you build. But I guess I guess their plan was indeed to leave it to us for whatever reason. That seems like an error to me. I never know what the AI is thinking. At least it does appear that they're giving us the time we need to sort of regroup and reorganize ourselves. Why am I aware of what's happening in Karek Azul? You get vision from allied forces, so it basically has to be that for some reason that Slaanesh faction can see over there, but I can't imagine what reason that would be. Yep, and the forces of Wintertooth are just rolling around, crushing the Empire on all fronts. Yep, here comes the College of Pyrotechnics doing their thing. 20 Hellstorm rocket batteries. No, not 20 this time. This time they have a couple of steam tanks and some grenade launchers. I did famously, the very first campaign I played in Total War Warhammer 2. The College of Pyrotechnics rogue army spawned, and I actually managed to get them on our side and to show up to battle as a reinforcement army once. And their army was literally their lord and 19 units of Hellstorm rocket batteries, and we sieged the fuck out of a city. Keen senses and portentous premonitions guide your hunter's path, even when there seems to be none. Yet it is bodies that must follow it. Though your warriors have not lost sight of the goal, their flagging strength belies their determination. So we can give them some spoils to soothe the spirit. We can rest, but that lowers campaign movement range. I don't feel like that. Or we can do the other thing and go faster. Everybody will be tired all the time. I don't really want everybody to be tired all the time for 4 turns. I'm sure when we get to the battle, we're going to find that we are more than up to the task. But I'm going to take the one that doesn't make us tired or slower moving. We got ourselves some pretty cool stuff here. Hound Watches is a pretty solid technology. It turns out Svengar's help is not needed to discover the location of Throg. Should I have him sail to help with the jungle problem? I mean, our hope is that will be resolved before he gets there. I could get on land and attack Castle Bastogne and stuff. Where are we at here? We need one more altar to the Hound. I'm gonna go to the place I was originally gonna go.
There will be death. I conjure.
All right, I'm gonna stop moving early so that we can hit this on the way forward. You can't stop and investigate movement points of interest while you are in march mode or full sail mode, in case you are wondering why I am doing that way. Okay. Working on it. We'll be there soon. It is definitely worth it to take this this slightly longer sea route around. Enemies seem to have mostly backed off. This gives me time to at least roll into the flaming serpent and see if it is indeed empty. It is not. Hey, what a surprise. Well, here's my final dedication to the Hound.
Total devotion. You give yourself to the Hound as its mighty champion. Go forth with the gifts of fury and horror in the Hound's name.
Separated from the marauding host, you stand alone beneath the endless sky and glimpse upon the horizon a solitary hound. It looms in dire triumph over its kin, throttled and torn, the loosened earth awash with blood and offal. The beast raises its muzzle from the final carcass to meet your gaze, a gory maw glistening with life's last warmth, its black onyx eyes alight with cruel knowing. In their dark gleam your reflection stirs, savage and unrestrained, a murderer heedless of loyalty or reason. And in the beast's silent bared grin, its offer is made plain. Hey, do you want to hang out with a guy whose name is Kilgore Slaymaim? It is so hard for me to press the reject button. All right, we're doing it. We continue to challenge the Chaos Gods. None down here can claim us, but I don't think you can claim us either, bitch. I say to all of the gods simultaneously. All right. The good news is that army that Seclio Porto Añez is running there isn't actually a good combat force.
I know things.
Those guys cannot withstand real combat. So we're gonna get in here and just be in charge of this settlement.
Which of you will bring me victory?
I guess I'm gonna max the army out. I'm gonna just refill all the way. We do not have a lot of yeah, let's see. So we can pull Chaos Spawn of Corn. Can we pull Chaos Warriors of Corn in 2 turns? We can. I was going to stick to Marauder Champions, but I guess we can use some of these new these extra Chaos Warrior slots. So to compare our options here, the Chaos Warriors of Nurgle with their great weapons. Big armor piercing, poison attacks, really, really tough. Even Chaos Warrior relative. You can see the Chaos Warriors of Khorne have a little bit more armor, but less health overall, less melee defense. Apologies, I'm starting to feel a little bit better from my illness, but I am not beyond the apocalyptic cough. But what they have is dual-wielding weapons. So they give up some melee defense for some melee attack, and they get a small amount of bonus versus infantry and frenzy, as opposed to the berserk and the Mark of Nurgle bonuses and stuff. You also have berserk. You just don't have the toughness. There's something to be said for a really tough guy who gives poison as a thing to use to just bog the enemy down. But you know what? Give me a couple units of Chaos Warriors of Khorne. That's how we're going to round this force out. Okay, so 3 turns until we are... 2 turns until we are ready to march again with Vidamar. We have some unassigned skill points over in Svengar's army. Oh, Svengar doesn't have Norse resilience. Everybody should have that. What am I doing? You're also done moving. Why did it... I guess I just didn't notice that you leveled up. All right, I want to keep an eye on Throg as best I can, and Throg did leave. So we're aware. Has my Shoal King gone? Okay, he went north. Garmer is getting pretty close now. Let's go ahead and try to repair this, although I do not necessarily trust that it will get finished. Because obviously the College of Pyrotechnics is probably just going to conquer the place, right? Alright, so he picked up the Hound Watches. That's pretty good. It has been a little while since we've had anything actually available here. We did do enough damage to the Vampire Pirates to unlock the ability to take this. You know, we're going to be fighting Skaven for quite some time, and a lot of the armies have Marauder infantry. It is probably worth it to grab Annihilation of the Skaven.
Tools of war.
Probably well worth the time that it costs. And the commandment here, unfortunately, there's nothing we can issue that is like anything similar to like affecting sea units coming in. We're just going to have to deal with the fact that these two settlements are very vulnerable to attack from the ocean, and there's nothing we can really do about that. Defense and security are not really things that the average Norscan has near the top of their mind, you know? Okay, every turn Naggareth doesn't declare war on us is a good turn. Not that we'll like lose immediately if it happens, but it's just it's a complicating factor that we do not need to be dealing with right now. So, in theory, we are 14 settlements away from 14 settlement conquers away from showing our allegiance to all four Chaos Gods and spurning them all, and thus facing whatever challenge they have for us. And there's a powerful reward to be earned, we are told, but also defeating that challenge is going to be like the end of our campaign, so I'm not really so worried about what the bonus is. I'm just curious what it is we get to fight. And I'm trying to build up a cool enough army for that moment. Alright, the Empire is attacking the stolen Wintertooth settlements, but not actually taking them back, just sacking them and running away. It's hard for me to imagine that the Troll King built anything worth sacking in Gorsel, of all places. You know, if it were some kind of huge port town or something, maybe. Gorsel's just a place where the rocks taste good when you lick them. Please tell me Throg does not disappear into the fog too much.
I'd usually negotiate with my sword.
Okay,
but
what's up
today,
with you guys? They want us to jump in and declare war on the Dark Elves. That would actually, I think, be a huge pain in my ass right now. I just really don't. Well, we do have an army over here taking on Cecilio, and it does look like the Dark Elves are up against... No, I just can't do this. I just don't want to do this. Is the College of Pyrotechnics taking our stuff? They're not. They're just kind of milling around outside in a sort of a confused fashion. What an odd bunch of guys. Alright, scouting party has uncovered a dark passage leading into the heart of the mountains. Recruit rank up for trolls or recruit rank up for marauders in all armies. I guess I don't know that this is going to matter much. It unfortunately is coming right after we've keyed in all of our recruit orders. So, okay, unfamiliar patch of land. We can pay some money to acquire an obsidian blade, or we can get a really big upgrade for our army. I think I'm willing to take. Like we have lots of people who could use weapon upgrades. Lots of heroes and characters and whatnot who are not wielding real gear.
Things that weak minds could not bear.
Can you
fathom.
be rid of him?
Slaughter.
A Pyrrhic victory, but a Pyrrhic victory that doesn't actually cost me any units. Or it doesn't actually cost me any, full unit cards.
Demons demand sacrifice.
I don't think we would take this many losses, but the important thing is we got it done. All right, and notice, with all of our extra recruiting done and stuff, we're actually slightly negative on gold per turn,
Conduit for
which is wild.
beyond.
This is the first time that has been the case in a very long time.
Spirits say we move on.
You're making it all the way back to Itza. Okay, we're not going to take this whole turn here, but I just wanted to make sure that faction was dealt with. I do not want there to be any possibility that I come back here and forget about them and just run Talos toward the front. And our backfield is secured. We're rebuilding. We're trying our level best to rebuild here. And I think with that, we can probably call the episode. This was a fair amount of progress. We're well on our way to our next hunt. We are kind of, sort of pushing the rats back, at least. We have stopped their counter push. I guess you can count that for something. And when you come back next time, we'll be striking deep, deep into the heart of their lands, where everything is terrible and huge armies are coming at you completely out of nowhere all of the time. Frankly, it just sounds like home. Come back for that, and we'll see you then.